So I have a recipe or two for you guys that I'm going to drop on you so that you could see how freaking easy it is to eat like a bodybuilder. I know a lot of you guys eat out, and so occasionally what I do is go, because sometimes it's cheaper in Latin America to eat like a bodybuilder than it is to eat like a North American guy that is used to eating fast food all the time. So what do I got here? Pretty simple. So I got 2 eggs. Let's say 8 grams of protein each. I have a half a burrito that has a tortilla on the outside that I'm taking off. All right, so I weighed this. This was actually 150 grams, so this is about 75 grams of this is, okay, this is the good stuff. So this is steak. This is straight steak. I give that to my dogs because they don't give a shit about tortillas. Well, listen, guys, I've been throttled. I've had a couple things flagged, copyright flags. Let's see, what else? Somebody said I was being racist. All right, so there's no winning. You know what I mean? There's no winning. I've discovered you can't really help a lot of people. So what I'm going to do is only help the people who want help. And I'm just going to show you what I do, and it works for me. Then it'll work for you. Now, this, you're going to eat your carbs early in the day. You're only going to have protein at night. The reason being is because there's plenty of carbs. There's plenty of, not carbs, there's no carbs in this. This is just steak. That's all this is steak. I'm going to heat this up. Once it's all hot, 2 eggs. I do 3 eggs in the morning. 3 eggs is 24 grams of protein. If you can't afford to buy whey protein, buy eggs. So you're one of these guys that says, I can't put on weight. Great. We're going to fire it up and make this happen. So I got 75 grams of steak right here. An additional 2 eggs that, by the way, I'm going to teach you something about eggs. If you want smarter children, give them 1 egg a day. 1 egg a day. If they eat 1 egg a day, they'll have higher IQs. It's been proven. Did you know also that if your kids exercise, any kind of exercise, doesn't matter what it is, for 18 minutes a day, that's 100 hours a year. Did you know that if your kid eats 1 of these a day and exercises for 18 minutes a day, all of us should do this, by the way, with your kids, with me. I do the 30 days of discipline every single day. None of you guys wanted to tune in to seeing all guys and girls exercise in the morning, but I'm going to change that because I know it's boring. But I was also getting copyright flagged with the Tabata music and all that stuff. Okay, so this is about fired up, but this is not what you want. I'm just heating this up a little bit. All right, this is so good, by the way. Marinated steak is one of these things that should be on your list. If you can't afford steak, go to the grocery store, go to the meat section, and look up barbecue ribs. What are they called? No, they're called something else. They're like these thick pieces of pork. That's if you can't afford steak. Get eggs or get some chickens. But steak, ground beef, get fat. Put fat into your ground beef. So don't just get... I don't know, guys. I go to the butcher. So I don't know how it is. I don't buy packaged anything that's in plastic. I go to the butcher shop, and they grind whatever it is I want right there and then. I used to be this... I hate turkeys. I hate turkey burgers. I love turkeys. I love looking at them, but I don't like eating them. Because I just like steak. I'm a steak guy, and that's all the steak you need. And 2 eggs. Now, if you want it to be even better and more calories, I'm going to teach you my secret. Here it is. And just so you guys know, Maker's Mark actually does make good avocado oil and olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. And they found all those other brands to be fake. Turns out this one turned out to be pretty good. And so you're only going to use about a tablespoon. And I eyeball it because I want more calories. This gives you about 100 calories. That's going to help a lot. 100 calories for a skinny guy. And just so you guys know, I am down 60 pounds from my competition weight. So, and just so you guys know, I used to use tons of steroids. I competed internationally, so I'm all open, honest about everything that you see is natural in me now. No TRT, it's creatine, and this stuff right here. I'm helping you guys to just copy what I do every single day. We're gonna do this for 30 days. I'm gonna show you every single day that what I eat in the morning and then one in the afternoon, because I'm not doing intermittent fasting anymore. I lost almost too much weight. So you guys remember that my arms, my shoulders were like this big, okay? And if you add, just say, shit tons of calories and resistance training that I train to failure, and so does everybody else in my class. By the way, I have a bodybuilding class. It's not an exercise class. It's not like a, lose weight kind of class. It is a class of people who used to be in shape and then they stop working out and they have muscle memory. So now all these old guys are getting biceps. They're getting their, I call it the weekend muscles. So dudes that only work out their biceps and their chest. They only do bench press and biceps. So, all right, another tip. Listen, guys. I know you're not in Mexico, but if you are in Mexico, you've got to get some cast iron pans and shit. They got cast iron pans everywhere. And so you guys know, I had a prepper discussion yesterday. Yesterday we had a prepper discussion. We talked about if you could not leave the States and you wanted to go somewhere, you could go to Puerto Rico and you can go to the U.S. Virgin Islands without a passport. You go there with a driver's license or an ID, and you don't need a passport. So you can actually be a passport bro without being a passport bro. It still is U.S. dollar. You can get a post office box. You can rent a house. You can even get a job down there. And you can live the dream like we are and not have to leave the States. So that was just a tip from the discussion last night. So we're almost to that point. All right, now, the reason why I'm cooking the meat first is because you don't want to overcook your eggs. Each one of these eggs has a chemical inside of it that's called choline bitartrate. It's a nootropic drug that actually you can buy over the counter in the pharmacy here. And 3 eggs is equivalent to one of the pills that you can buy in the pharmacy here for $8. It's a nootropic drug that actually makes you smarter. So what I'm telling you guys is that feed your kids eggs. Do not overcook them. You got to make them like sunny side up where they, you know what I'm saying, like Denny's perfect eggs, and practice this. I'm only going to do 2, but I made the steak as hot as possible. And just so you guys know, I eat the same way every single day. All you need is a bowl and a spoon. You don't need a fork. You don't need a knife. None of that stuff. This is obviously from, see, I go to the taco place and they give me a burrito that makes Chipotle look like Dairy Queen. How's that? I was going to say something insulting about Castle Burger, but I know there's Castle Burger guys out there that are crazy, and I don't want any problems. So now I have these 2 eggs, and I'm just gonna set them in there for 1 second. The pan is hot as shit. Like I told you, Cast iron pan gets hot as fuck. You put your 2 eggs in there. You let them roll around. You don't want to overdo them. That's about it. I don't like eggs that are slimy. Dude, I like my eggs perfect. So I might not even do like even an omelet like this. And you do want to include your yolks. The old wives' tale that says that egg yolks are bad for you, that'll give you a heart attack, is a lie. Carbohydrates causes insulin resistance and inflammation. And oh man, just look at that. That's crazy. So you want to take your eggs and remove it from the flame. You want to take your eggs, pop them over there for a second. Now if you want scrambled eggs, you want to use a spoon that's going to roll around real quick. And that's it. You want to make these soft scrambled eggs. Soft scrambled eggs, just like that. Don't let them get any hotter because you want to burn up the choline. Or do you want to spend $8 on a pill? Take that, boom. I have my steak. And I have my soft scrambled eggs. Look out, guys. And this is, by the way, cast iron. It does not have none of that coating shit. And the reason I can do that is because the pan is hot as a motherfucker. And the steak is greasy. And I put a tablespoon of olive oil into it. Get avocado oil or olive oil. That's the only thing you want to touch. If you can't get beef tallow. Beef tallow, by the way, is better than lard. Lard is actually not bad for you. Remember your grandma used to have that thing of lard? Not Crisco. Crisco is used in ball bearings and stuff. Don't use anything that's chemical. Anything that's made with seeds causes inflammation, and it'll actually lower your lifespan. So get away from doing all that stuff. I'm gonna tell you guys, I've been eating like this. You know what I mean? I'm 51, dude. I don't know how the fuck this happened and how it worked. My hair's grown back. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I can't do is make my teeth grow back. I got my fucking teeth knocked out. So I'm getting my teeth fixed. I wanted to do a hair transplant. I've never had hair up there, you guys. And now my fucking hair is growing back. I don't get it. This whole other dimension, this whole backwards world we're in, guys, it's friggin' working for me. And if this is a game, I want to thank my player 1 who's kicking fucking ass for me right now, guys. Who the fuck would have guessed that a guy like me would be talking to you about eating steak and eggs for dinner to get you shredded and get you big as a fucking house, you guys. I want to see all of you guys because I need a team of guys. I do. I need a team of friends. A team of like super friends that are good at things that I can call on and say, hey, bro, I need like help doing graphics. I need help doing research. I'm doing a ghost story series with these people in Mexico. And all of them are people who, not full of shit, said, yeah, my grandmother had these balls of fire that used to roll into her house when I was a little kid. Another guy says when he was a little kid, his dad was an engineer, and he was digging in front of the church. The church is like the center of town here in Mexico. And they saw tunnels underneath the church. Huge tunnels. He said that you could fit 2 horses side by side next to each other in a stagecoach. Then they said that the railroads, this is the amazing part, every single time I've heard this story, the railroads are all bought by the Ford Motor Company. The Ford Motor Company, the year that it came around, and how many railroads were bought up just for steel. So I'm going to go wreck this, you guys. 2 eggs, 75 grams of steak, pre-cooked, because all I did was go get a burrito, took the food out, took it out. It's all cooked perfectly. All I have to do is heat it up. You can eat cheaper like this. All right, so, yeah, I would love to. Occasionally, I would love to go have some KFC, but now listen, guys, even KFC doesn't allow GMOs here in Mexico. So I can't even get good GMO food anymore. So I'm really disgusted when I see people eating on camera. So you put a 1 in the chat. I'm going to eat this fast. Here's how you have to eat. And another thing, is that this steak is cooked vertically. No oil. They put a pineapple on top. And they'll cook it and they'll shave it off. Just like in Middle East, you guys know. Shawarmas. It's the same thing like in Turkey, doner kebab. Same thing. But then that's important, guys. You want eggs that are like this. Don't overcook your eggs. I'm sorry. If you don't like eggs like that, either A, get used to it, or go buy the medicine. By the way, it's an amino acid. It is not illegal. It's over the counter. It's called choline. Look up choline. A lot of these things that I hear when it comes to food, when it comes to nutrition, this stuff has helped me reverse my age. I didn't even know that was possible. Now, this is my second year intermittent fasting. You're probably thinking I got a pharmacy over here, and I do. But I want to show you what I'm going to do and what I've been doing. I almost died choking to death. To somehow reverse my age tremendously. First, I lost a shit ton of weight. Then, started taking collagen and every possible food. One way to really kick this in gear is to go for a 3-day fast. Don't eat anything for 3 days. But you should drink bone broth. All you're going to have is bone broth the whole time. Plenty of water, but no food. By the 3rd day, you feel weird and all this stuff. You feel kind of retarded. But you'll feel energized. So take tons of that stuff. Krill oil is an omega-3. When I say inflammation, this is a cure to inflammation. You want to take krill oil before you eat. You never want to take omega-3s on an empty stomach. It'll make you feel like death. D3 is an anti-aging drug that is in what appears to be a vitamin form. This stuff is so good for you. And a lot of times it's paired with K2. You absolutely must take this. If it costs you your whole paycheck, D3 will extend your life. People who take, I think the mega dose for anti-aging is like 40,000 IUs. This might be, 4,000. So I'll take one of these a day. That's the minimum you should take, a minimum. Okay, next thing on the list is actually a really good thing that most of us are all deficient in, and that's in magnesium. There's several types of magnesium. You don't want anything that says oxide or oxenate in the name. Okay, that's garbage. It doesn't really work. Okay, you want to look for magnesium threonate. Threonate affects the brain, your cognitivity. You guys know I have brain damage, and so anything I can do to help this brain to be in better condition than it used to be is, look at that, is a miracle for me. You know why? Because you want some steak and some eggs. But this has a combination of 5-HTP. Now 5-HTP will make you sleepy, but it is an antidepressant. 5-HTP is something that, do you guys remember GHB back in the day? Well, 5-HTP was derived from GHB. That's why it knocks you out when you take it. It also has B6 in it. Now, you want to get a real complete B vitamin in general. And I got this at Sam's Club here in Mexico. And this is Members Mark, so I know it's legit. It also says on here that it's not GMO. So I got all those benefits of the B. And by the way, B is necessary. I realize that there are two types of bees. One is like toxic waste, one is like miraculous. And we'll talk about that one day. But guys, B12, ginseng, and caffeine together lasts for hours, and it gives you endurance. It makes you almost feel like you're just like hyper than hype, like pre-workout stuff, but it lasts for the whole day. That's good stuff. If you have low blood sugar, take a capsule or a teaspoon of cinnamon. Not the cinnamon challenge, but get some cinnamon and put it on a banana and just fuck it up. Put some honey on that shit. Put some bee pollen on that shit. By the way, guys, bee pollen is a weird thing. I'm sorry, little dog. Look, this is bee pollen. Okay, I know you can't smell through the camera, but this is organic. This is organic bee pollen. There's stuff that's called royal jelly, and there's stuff that's called bee pollen. So this is actually a waste from from honey production from bees, and it's amazing shit. You take a teaspoon of this stuff in the morning, bro, you will be on fire. You're ahead of the game, my man. You're ahead of the game. A lot of people don't even realize it. But let me listen to me now and hear me later. There are something that have been labeled as quackery over the years. And the people who've exposed a lot of this stuff as being legit have been bodybuilders. I mean, I used to take clenbuterol, which is a drug made for asthma, and it had side effects. And one of the bodybuilders told me, you need to take Benadryl for the side effects. I'm like, what are you talking about? Dude, this guy knew that the receptors, the names of the receptors in the muscles, and the things that attach from clenbuterol to somebody's muscle, he knew that beta 2 whatever he knew beta blockers, which is Benadryl, would stop the side effects, and it would give you continuation on using clenbuterol more than 2 weeks, and you could use it all the way up to a show. And this dude, you know what I mean, he was big as a house, but you wouldn't think a guy that looked like that would be as smart as he was. So a lot of bodybuilders have figured things out that work. They're the ones that figured out that the nutrition triangle or pyramid was bullshit. So this is what caused this. I mean, how much weight you want to lose, guys? Look, check me out. $51. So it works. It's working. The other thing I'm telling you guys that you need to give to your mother and father is creatine. Creatine actually is helpful for preventing dementia. Most of us are going to die of cancer or some mental health problem. You just call it old age. Creatine, which we discovered in the 90s, actually works to make muscles bigger. It also turns out that it will also make your dad completely jacked, and it'll protect his brain from dementia. So get some creatine, put it in their drink. The Ruckera's mom has dementia. She refuses to take dementia medication. I said, give her some creatine. They said, well, she won't take anything. I said, listen, she drinks a shake in the morning or a juice in the morning, right, every day. Yeah, well, put it in there. Try it. Within a week, her response, because she repeats the same stories every day, she was changing, her speech pattern was changing. She was responding to, as opposed to repeating, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So there's some truth to this stuff. The other thing is that most of, these are very expensive. So you got to try and find something that's combined, that has maximum milligrams. Because if you can't really afford something that, like zinc and vitamin C, that's, preventative type of stuff, then maybe you want to try and get oranges. Find things that are higher in vitamin C, like moringa. Because that's what you got to do. You have to reverse your aging. And the only way that I found to do it I found it by accident. So I'm telling you guys, if I'm going to go through this, I'm not spending millions of dollars on myself, anti-aging. I'm just copying what other people have tried and has worked. So you follow me? Gonna be doing some honey production pretty soon. So that's gonna be good. We're fully self-supporting from our own contributions. And so right now we're in a transition. We have rappelling school coming up, which when you got 20 something kids that are all ages 6 to 12 years old and their mamas are all emotional and scared, they put their trust in me because they see me, they hear me, they talk to me, they see what I do, and they've seen their kids change before their eyes, be better in school. And I said, well, my good friend is actually a rappelling instructor. He is amazing. His name is Raul. He's one of these real guys. Down here in Mexico, we have franchises. Food franchises. They're all Western. But then they have these little bitty Mexican franchises that sound American, but they're Mexican. They're authentic as shit. They're good. Real cheap buy-ins. People make lots of money doing it. And they're positioned strategically in all the malls and high traffic studied areas. So big money. You're thinking about going to Mexico and you got about 20 grand? Buy a small apartment and buy into a franchise next door. Follow the pretty people. Wherever you see good looking women and fit guys, that's where you want to live. Follow the pretty people. Now, for some of you guys that are struggling, with the weight issue, amor, puedo ver el bolso negro y dame dos botellas. One of my friends is here. I do stuff that is amazing even to me. I don't even know how, you know what I mean? Got a guy here. I did therapy on his arm. He wasn't able to raise his arm above this. Dude is jacked now. So I'll come back around. I want to talk about this rest of this nutrition thing and talk about reversing your aging. But I got to take care of business because it's getting late. I'm the professor and I'll be right back.